Well, good evening. You have seen it for yourself. Those icy conditions increased tonight. Many parts of Anchorage and South Central are now like an ice rink, but there is hope things could improve. We turn to Jackie Purcell for the latest.
Yeah, it is going to take some time for our plows to move that mess that became the Anchorage and South Central roads when rain fell on snow through the day today. Some of our weather headlines, that winter storm that left us in this mess is now headed north to the Brooks Range in northern Alaska. They still have alerts in effect there, warnings and advisories for heavy snow, freezing drizzle, blizzard conditions, which blew through the interior today. And even here locally, flurries possible into tomorrow morning, but drier weather on Sunday for us as well as into the interior. But you can see that draw of moisture from just north of Hawaii all the way up into Alaska, bringing us this warm, moist air. There's the storm system and its impact still affecting northern Alaska with that cloud cover spread across the Brooks Range. Still possible to see snow there and blizzard conditions. And in fact, Rebecca, they're in phase 2 and phase 3 type of conditions along the Dalton Highway up toward Prudhoe Bay tonight. That's pretty serious weather there. But we see that storm system dissipating over the South Central area. What is not going to dissipate is avalanche danger continuing for the western Chugach Mountains, also the Kenai Mountains, also around Turnagain Pass, Summit Lake, Lost Lake, Seward, and also parts of the Chugach Range. So this is going to be the case over the next couple of days. So want folks to maybe hold off on those backcountry trips for at least another couple of days so storm conditions can settle. But there it is, looking into Sunday and Monday with some drier outlooks for the South Central region. Rebecca, it's still messy out there. The roads are so icy, but people just have to take it slow and easy and even stay home if you can. I'll have more coming up a little bit later.
Thank you, Jackie. And this morning's storm hit fast and left big impacts from the Kenai Peninsula to Kodiak. Strong winds, heavy rain, and quick ice turned road slicks, flooding low spots and changing snowpacks in a matter of hours. Joe Allgood spoke to the people who watched it roll in and crews trying to keep up.
Friday's storm blew through quickly. From Homer.
Out of nowhere, the wind just aggressively picked up and it started raining aggressively. So we were starting to drive off the stoop and we saw this light pole, which you see in the video, just swaying back and forth like crazy, like it was going to tip over. And then the waves started to pick up and thankfully it wasn't high tide.
To Kodiak.
A lot of rain really fast.
Leaving behind plenty of precipitation.
Typical drains clogged and streets flooded.
I'm going fishing on the corner.
And dangerous driving conditions.
We have all of our equipment out on our city streets and at the airport. And, you know, keep in mind we're a smaller city, so we have like 6 to 8 pieces of equipment, but it's all out. Plows, plow trucks, graders, dozers, everything we have is out on the streets.
We're just trying to keep up with sanding too, and all the roads are slippery.
Plus, avalanche danger in the furthest reaches. Well, this is a big chunk of snow here, and you can see the freezing rain has just made the top of it pretty icy. But that's a deceiving look because it just crumbles. And if it can be that crumbly here, imagine what it's like in the backcountry. Now the temperature has dropped, refreezing much of the slush.
I actually think that will help improve it, one, for the sand conditions, because then we can get the sand on the ice, and the colder temperature will hold the sand.
But it's still a good idea to watch where you step. Joe Allgood, Alaska's news source.
And this storm's not hitting everyone the same. We're seeing a wide swing of conditions from neighborhood to neighborhood and even block to block across Anchorage. Will Courtney tracking it all, driving from one side of town to another.
Road conditions here in Anchorage have been quite dramatic throughout the day. A whole laundry list of different effects going on throughout the roads. From what we've seen, driving throughout Anchorage today, ice, slush, snow, pools of water, you name it. It's all happened here in Anchorage. We've seen some, unfortunately, quite dramatic sights throughout the day as well. Overturned cars, slips, skids from vehicles, potholes. We've even seen a semi-truck get lodged in a pothole earlier in the day. Just a whole a list of items of what's happened to Anchorage drivers throughout the day. I got the chance to speak with the Department of Transportation a little bit about how to stay safe on these roads under these conditions from all that wintry mix we experienced this morning, and then only expected to get colder throughout the night. So the Department of Transportation is saying to watch your speed. It's really important to make sure you're not going too fast on a road where you might not be able to stop in time, brake in time, and that's really important, obviously, to watch your speed and see how much time you have to actually brake. So brake early, brake often, as much as you possible to stay safe. Well, Courtney, Alaska's news source.
Anchorage firefighters want you to stay off the roads while conditions are bad. Lauren Maxwell has that update.
Anchorage roads are slick, and they're certain to stay that way. The fire department is asking people who don't have to be on them to stay home. They say that will allow the general public to stay safe, but it will also help first responders to do their important jobs.
We're still responding to incidents like strokes, medical emergencies, like allergic reactions. Those happen all the time, and we have to be out here. The public doesn't, so if the public can stay home, we really would appreciate it.
Now, the fire department says they will definitely be there when people need them, but again, they're asking drivers to help them do their jobs, make them a little bit easier, tonight at least, by staying off the roads. Lauren Maxwell, Alaska's news source.
Well, tonight, Anchorage families are feeling the impact of this big storm in a big way. The Anchorage School District called off classes again today, and we've heard a lot of reactions about this one. Relief from some parents, frustration for others. Georgina Fernandez breaks down the school closure debate and what that means for the school calendar.
Friday marks the third closure day for Anchorage School District, leaving some debate. Some folks say they're relieved, while others say this is just Alaska and the weather we signed up for. Slick roads with Mother Nature howling.
I can see why they got canceled. I was like, this is actually pretty bad.
Leaving playgrounds empty on Friday after school was canceled due to unsafe road conditions.
I was actually relieved that they told us the night before instead of like 5:30 a.m. in the morning. I really appreciated that as a parent for like my scheduling and knowing what to do for the next day.
It is frustrating, but I do really understand why the district closed. The road conditions are really bad.
Meanwhile, another Anchorage parent said this weather is nothing new and parents need to be prepared. Parents also saying, while understandable, these closures are still not easy.
It means time off of work. It means using up all of your PTO so that you can stay home and care for your children that can't be home by themselves.
ASD now adding another school day on the calendar after Friday's closure went over its allocated emergency closure days for the school year. That date, most likely the district says, will be April 17th. Georgina Fernandez, Alaska's news source.
Now, if more makeup days are needed, the Anchorage School District will add them to the end of the academic year. Right now, May 21st and 22nd are marked for possible extra days. Well, it doesn't look better in the Matsu. Those roads that looked like ponds during the day now are turning to ice. Bailey Braun shows us what things look like in the valley.
I'm outside of Target in Wasilla, and on our way into Wasilla today, the roads were incredibly wet. We saw a lot of cars that were off into the side of the road, and some of them were even flipped. Now, it's important to know that in the overnight hours, even though temperatures today were relatively warm, these temperatures are going to drop into the teens, so it's going to be very cold, which means all of these wet roads are going to turn to very slick, icy roads. So it's important to know that if you're driving and the road looks wet in these temperatures, it is actually ice, and it's important to drive slow. Make sure you give yourself extra time to brake and do not follow too close behind other cars because you need that braking time. But even behind us, we have this puddle, and earlier today it was just completely water, but now you can see that ice beginning to form on top. It's forming that kind of icy slushy layer, but that's just showing you that temperatures are now below freezing, and it doesn't take too long before these freezing temperatures do begin to settle in, especially for water. And now as I'm stepping in it, it doesn't look very deep, but as I'm stepping in it, that's well above my ankles. So again, it's very important that you drive safe and slow on these icy roads, but also try not to drive too fast through these puddles. That can direct you into any direction. So make sure you're careful as you're driving. In Wasilla, I'm Bailey Braun, Alaska's news source.
Finally, relief in Fairbanks. Last month's cold spell broke, and now there are higher temperatures. Alex Bangle has reaction from the interior.
Here Here in Fairbanks, temperatures have warmed to around freezing, and roads so far have been in generally fair condition. However, icy conditions on the Richardson Highway led the Department of Transportation to close a 75-mile stretch of the route Friday. Travelers looking to get from Glen Allen to Delta Junction or vice versa are being told to use a detour through Tok. DOT crews, meanwhile, are working to sand the road to increase traction.
Travel is not advised at the moment for the Richardson Highway, but conditions will be posted and updated on 511.alaska.gov, and that is where you will see the most up-to-date travel conditions.
The DOT expected to have more information Friday night about what the weather will look like in the interior in the coming days. Alex Bengal, Alaska's news source.
And our team coverage continues in Girdwood. That storm last night blasted Alyeska with nearly 2 feet of fresh powder. Danny Tompkins reports by this morning, strong winds moved in, forcing parts of the mountain to shut down for hours.
A surprising outcome today in Girdwood. Driving over this morning from Anchorage, conditions were very heavy on the rain and there was slush all over the road. But driving into Girdwood, the sun started to come out. Now, we spoke to some skiers at the resort who were a little bummed about not being able to ski on the mountain today. There was some avalanche mitigation, but also due to the conditions. But some of the mountain opened up, and those same skiers came back later and said that the skiing was actually pretty good. Although there was some wind and some areas were sliding that they weren't used to having those areas slide. Now, in addition, we spoke to a woman who runs the youth ski race, and that race was actually postponed until Saturday, and that was due to the conditions. She said that the rain caused the conditions to turn soft, as she put it, and due to the safety of the skiers, they postponed it to Saturday. But overall, it was an okay day here in Girdwood, and the skiers say that a day skiing is better than not. Danny Tompkins, Alaska's news source.